what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I've got for you guys today, more updates from Big Ramy. At about 2.5 weeks out now from the 2023 Arnold Classic, now we're getting to see a little bit more from Ramy than what we saw the other day. I still think that posing video was a little bit weird. If you guys didn't see the last video that I posted, we talked about the only update that we've gotten from Ramy during his prep so far had been this update at 3 weeks out from the back of him just kind of moving his leg up and down and then almost hitting a rear lat spread. And I say it was a weird update because no pose was hit. It was a weird angle. He was doing this weird thing with his leg, and then it just ended. So it to me was a weird update. So like I said, today we got three new ones at 2.5 weeks out. Now these updates were a little bit better in terms of what you could see in them. So you get the side, almost the side chest. He's showing off the side profile of his legs, which I gotta be honest, I always feel like his legs look very impressive from the side. That's where you can see that glute hamstring tie-in. That's where you can see that separation between the quads and the hamstrings, and just the overall impressive sheer density of his legs. He's got massive legs, and I think he's able to show them off the best in these side profile shots, especially when his conditioning is on point. And in these latest side profile shots, you can see some striations in his glutes. Now, in addition to these side profile shots, Ramy also posted a rear lat spread. So the completed version of the pose he was going to hit in the video the other day. Now, I gotta say, this update I'm a little bit less impressed with. And to be frank, the side profile shots, while I think they're good shots for Ramy, they still didn't, to me, look to be completely on track for a guy that's 2 weeks out from a show. I feel like they should have been a little bit sharper. Now, the reason why I say this rear lat spread isn't as impressive to me is a couple reasons. It could be the lighting, because it does look kind of overexposed. You can see he's kind of whitewashed from the back, and maybe that is leaching out some of the detail because the exposure seems so high. And the lighting there just isn't great. But the other reason is we just got yesterday this same pose from Samson Dauda. And I'll show you guys Samson's complete post here. So he was comparing, Samson was 3 weeks out from last year's Arnold compared to 3 weeks out from this year's Arnold, showing off the massive improvements that he was able to make, which I do think is truly noticeable and very tangible gains in between shows. So if you look at Samson's side-by-side updates, you can see just how much size and detail Samson has put on between those two shows, and that was the point of his post. But now that we got this same pose from Ramy, you can put Samson's rear lat spread side-by-side with Ramy's. And with the caveat that Samson's update was from 3 weeks out and Ramy's is from 2.5, if you look at that mid to upper back area, you can see a lot more thickness in detail in Samson, especially as you get more towards the lower back. Even up towards the traps, though, it looks deeper and more separated. And I'm looking at Samson's shoulders from the back, too. Samson's shoulders look rounder. His delts look fuller than Ramy's from the back. And unfortunately, it's not a completely fair comparison because you can't see Ramy's lower body here. But Samson's lower body, you can see very good detail and separation in the hamstrings. The glutes, honestly, it's a little bit harder to tell. You can't really see separation in Samson's glutes so much in this update, I will admit that. But his hamstrings show a pretty fair amount of separation. And his rear lat spread looks good. We know that he's super wide. He's a bigger guy, near 300 pounds. And we know that he's bringing that width with a very impressive taper. Now, one final observation from Ramy's post would be this, and this might be just an absurd observation, but since we do like to acknowledge when Ramy has the death face, I was looking at this update on his story, and I noticed he had a little bit of a double chin, and this could totally just be the angle. But when Ramy's face is super sucked in and depleted, he does not have that double chin. And again, it could just be the way he's standing. It could be the angle, but I just noticed that in this picture. And we do like to talk a lot when we see Ramy having the death face, and this kind of being the antithesis of that. Could that serve as some kind of indicator to what his conditioning is going to look like? But one thing we did really learn with Ramy this past year is that sometimes his updates don't really mean a whole lot. You can't really gain much from them because, truth be told, he looked incredible in the vast majority of the updates that he posted before the 2022 Mr. Olympia. But then he showed up and not only lost his title, but I think that was the farthest single-year drop that a reigning Mr. Olympia has ever had, from 1st to 5th. So who knows, maybe these physique updates could look a little bit lackluster and he could still look incredible on stage, maybe better than the Olympia. Maybe it doesn't matter at all. But truth be told, I was just expecting to see more from Ramy in terms of just overall tightness, detail. Because I don't want to understate that I think Ramy really needs to go above and beyond for this Arnold Classic to redeem himself. He needs to really, truly nail it. He has to come in looking significantly, noticeably better than the Olympia to have a shot at winning this Arnold. That's just the way it is. And so far, in the few updates that we've seen from Ramy, I just have not seen significantly or noticeably better anything from those updates yet. And at almost 2 weeks out, it's about time that we start seeing some of those things. Now, next up in the news, in a recent interview with Muscle and Fitness's Frank Seppi, Sean Clarida, the giant killer who's going to be competing in the Men's Open Arnold Classic, as you guys know, unless you've been living under a rock. He just won the 212 Mr. Olympia, and now he wants a shot in the Open class. The question was asked to Sean in this interview, if he does win the Arnold Classic, is he going to pursue the Open Olympia, well, this year, not next year now, the Open Olympia in 2023? And Sean answers that question with yes. And I think Sean's justification for that is very, very fair and rational justification.
Will you go into the Open at the Olympia?
You'll probably be the first to hear this, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, at this point, if I could beat number 3 in the world, number 6 in the world, number 9 in the world,
yeah,
that just tells me I belong on that stage. And I've always said timing is everything.
Because if he were to win the Arnold Classic this year in Open, he would be beating the 3rd best guy in the Open Olympia, the 5th best guy, the 6th best guy, and the 8th and the 9th best guys from the Open Olympia this past year. So if he were to win the Arnold Classic and beat all those guys, why would he not do the Open Olympia in 2023? And I still think it's a big if that he would win this this Arnold Classic, because there's a lot of really good Open guys here. It's not going to be easy for Clarida to pick up this Open victory. But if he did, I would certainly agree with him that he definitely has a place on the Open Olympia stage, and it would be really hard to argue with that because he beats most of the lineup here. Not to mention, in addition to their Olympia placings, he would be beating 3 guys that are near 300 pounds on stage, and he's a guy that's not even 200 pounds on stage. Pretty significant victory if Sean were able to win here. But let me know honestly what you guys think in the comments down below. Does Sean have a real shot at winning the Open Arnold Classic this year? And if he does he have a shot at winning the Open Olympia in 2023 also this year? And by the way, I also wanted to include a segment here about the Olympia, because we did just get official confirmation on their Instagram of the dates, the actual dates, and the location finalized for the 2023 Olympia finally. So it will be in Orlando, Florida, so it's moving away from Vegas officially. We already knew that much, and I think I told you guys that in a video a while ago. Now, it will be earlier this year. We knew it was going to be earlier, but we didn't know the exact date. So it will be November 2nd through the 5th of 2023. So about a month and a half earlier than it was in 2022. It's not going to be the week before Christmas anymore. And my understanding is every year they're going to keep moving it back as much as possible until they get it back to around that same time slot as it used to be, mid to late September, or just right around that time in the fall. So my understanding is next year they're going to be shooting for October, and then they're going to continue to kind of slide it back as they're able to plan ahead, which I do think is the right move. I like the Olympia where it always was, in that kind of September time slot I think was best. Now, finally, we also got a side chest from Nick Walker at around 2.5 weeks out, a little more than that, from the 2023 Arnold Classic. And I wanted to take that and put it side by side with Ramy, just so you can see what I'm talking about with that side profile of Ramy's legs and how impressive Ramy really is from the side because of the density and just the sheer amount of muscle that he's able to bring in somewhat separated at these big shows. And granted, the angle is different than what you can see from Nick's, and Nick has really good legs, but in comparison to Ramy from the side, you can see why that's such a strong point for Ramy. But Nick still looks very impressive as well, and I still think, in my opinion, Nick is the favorite to win this on paper, and I think in the opinion of the fans, Nick did win the People's Champion Award at the Olympia this year. I think everybody is looking at Nick as the favorite to win this show, and I personally haven't seen any reason to suggest he's not going to win this show. That's kind of the point that I'm trying to make with Ramy. I feel like we need to see something different, something special, some kind of reason to believe that Ramy could come in here with the upset and win this thing. Because while Nick has consistently shown that he's on track, he's in shape, he looks better than he looked for his Olympia prep, we haven't really seen any of that from Ramy yet. So I'm definitely a believer that Nick is likely going to win a second title here. But if you guys want to see what happens live, then you're going to want to purchase the live stream, and you can do that right now. The link is in the description box below for Fanmio. The code NSP10 will get you all the way down to $45. The full price is $60, but if you don't want to pay $60 for the live stream and you want to pay $45, go to Fanmio now. Get the pre-sale and get it for $45 with code NSP10. You know you're going to buy it anyway the weekend of. Why pay full price? Get it now. You can support the channel, and you can support the Arnold, which supports channels like mine, and which supports bodybuilding by upping the prize money every year. They are really going to great lengths to give back to bodybuilding and give back to the bodybuilding community. So don't pirate the stream, buy the stream, support the Arnold, support what they're trying to do, and use code NSP10 while you do that. That's going to wrap it up for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.
It's showtime.
All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.